And welcome to Malaysia as we head into the all-important qualifying session. The drivers are raring to go and we're just waiting for the lights to go green to signify the start of the qualifying hour. Last year we saw a wonderful race here in Malaysia and I'm expecting another fascinating weekend to come here in Kuala Lumpur.
Well, there are at least 3 or 4 other drivers that could be strong contenders for a front row start tomorrow. So it's difficult to predict who will come out on top, but it's certainly going to be an exciting qualifying session today.
An exciting qualifying session today is what Anthony Davidson says. We'll see what is going to happen. A very warm welcome to the second episode of the F1 2015 Championship mode on the channel in my Sauber. And so the circus has stranded in Malaysia, where you can see at the top track conditions as I show my setup. It's a bit cloudy, and as you can see here when going out on track, it actually started to rain, and I took a little bit of fuel with me. That's always what I do here. I don't do any kind of practice. I just jump straight into qualifying session, then press the record button. And because qualifying session is pretty long, I do quite a heavy fuel run. Well, not really heavy fuel, but not the lowest either. Big oversteam over there, holy shit. And I do a couple of laps with heavy fuel, and then I come back into the pit lane for the final 5 minutes or so. I run low fuel. That's usually what I do, and I just didn't look out of the garage, I guess, and suddenly there was rain when going out, so not the ideal situation, because it's obviously going to rain harder and harder, and the rip on the track is going to the grease. So wrong call from me there, being on slightly heavier fuel probably than maybe the rest of the field. We'll see. At least we went out pretty early. If you go out late right now, of course, you are not having a good time, because as I said, it's going to rain harder and harder. Lap times are only going to become worse as the session progresses. But in Malaysia then, after Australia, which was quite a successful race, second place in Sauber, not too bad as I make a little bit of a corner cut there, but I had a step with the wheel, it actually cost me time more than anything else, I believe. But as I said, and I don't do practice, so this is basically my first lap, and well, I need to perform straight away, obviously, with the rain falling down. Maybe I could do another quick lap after this one, because it doesn't really seem to be raining that hard at the moment, and this lap has definitely not been the best ever. A bit of oversteer there yet again. Went with reasonable low aerodynamics for this track, but that has to be expected. As you can see, they're just taking a horrible line through that corner, going up to the ridge mixture over here. Rain a bit harder, obviously. I said it before. Final corner, swing it in, third gear. Look how much understeer we pick up in the Sauber there, even at low fuel. 2 DRS zones around this track. DRS opening right now as we do a 140.260. 1.2 seconds of Raikkonen, who's currently in first, and up to P5 as the engineer tells us there. Not too bad for a first lap, but I know I can go much quicker than that. So straight away we try it again in this qualifying lap. As I said, the grip on track will be, a little bit less. You saw there, a little bit of wheel spin. It's not a lot, but it indicates that the track is getting worse in terms of grip levels. 2 thousandths down on Kimi Raikkonen there at the end of the first sector. Understeer there, with the outside wheel on the grass. This middle sector, this is a very important corner. Make sure you get this one right. That is the most important one in my opinion. Get hard on the power on the exit, leads onto a very tiny straight, and then this double apex right hander could have carried a lot more speed into there, and again I pretty much messed that up, not going to lie. And up to 7th gear, break at one on the meter board, down to 2nd again. A bit of oversteer there, and we should be up, because this has been a better lap than previous lap, but it actually was not up. It's actually half a second down, and when I saw that, it was just a big surprise as I go deep into this corner. So this lap is pretty much spoiled, and I know that at this stage.
What an end to a fantastic qualifying session for Ferrari, who've had a brilliant session and have put both cars on the front row of the grid for tomorrow's race.
Definitely a great result for the team, and if it all goes to plan tomorrow, we could be seeing a 1-2 finish. But there will be plenty of other drivers on the grid who'll be hoping to put a stop to that.
Good afternoon and welcome from Sepang for what is going to be a fascinating race. It's the Malaysia Grand Prix. Kimi Raikkonen is on a bit of a charge, and starting from pole position is about as good as it gets before the lights go out to start today's race.
It really was a great performance from him yesterday, and I think he'll be feeling very confident that he can push on and win today's race. Unless he has car trouble or a bit of bad luck, he should be untouchable.
It was a good win last time out for Lewis Hamilton, who will still be feeling buoyant going into today's race. He knows he's got the beating of the rest of the field as long as he doesn't hit any reliability issues with his Mercedes.
Well, Lewis can beat anyone on his day. His pace has been second to none at times. He just has a knack of finding those extra tenths which others can't. I'm expecting him to be particularly strong at the end of the stints today.
So the top 4 being really close at the end of that qualifying. What I did after that lap, which I messed up, I tried to do another lap, couldn't improve anymore. I was in fact another half second down or so. So that's interesting to see. It did seem like it was going to rain a little bit harder now as we are coming on to the race now. It was going to rain a little bit harder. After that I just couldn't improve anymore. So the 140.2 I think it was, which was there before, was still standing. As we started the race here, nice airplane flying over the first turn here as we entered the first corner. Lost the position to Hulkenberg, I think it is, on the start, or Ricciardo. Don't really know, a bit of contact there with I think a Lotus diving on the inside of Ricciardo. A bit of oversteer on the exit, but having a Ricciardo on the inside of turn 2 as we head to turn 3 right now, picking up the slipstream from Hulkenberg, who goes quite slowly because he's being held up by Sebastian Vettel, which means we go on the inside of Vettel as well into turn 3 and taking that position as well, so recovering from quite a poor start and up into P4 again, and actually gained 2 places there at the start as we are right now behind Raikkonen. It seems like Ferrari just had a miserable start with Raikkonen being in P3 and Vettel in P6 even. He dropped behind a bit further while they were at the front before, so a good start from Mercedes. And now this race is going to be epic in terms of strategy and whatnot. We saw Australia already, which was quite tricky with the rain and stuff. But here we start on the dry tire, and there are rain spits already falling on the track at the moment. And as you heard the engineer saying, light rain is expected within 5 minutes. It's obviously starting to rain, a few drops here and there already, as I absolutely nailed that corner. But obviously the rain is going to become even harder and harder as we have a big gap to Ricciardo, which is really good for us. Up into P4 here as we finish the first lap. We are able to stick with Raikkonen at the moment, so our pace is not bad at the moment, I think. On the exit here, nicely over the curb, using all of the track that's available. Once again going up to rich mixture. And the top speed in this Sauber is quite good. I went with a reasonable low downforce as I said before, but still the top speed in this thing, it's not bad at all. Going a bit deep to turn 1 here, that's okay though. Just come back to the apex and then open up the second corner a bit, that's really all you want to do. And then put the power down. You can definitely feel, especially with the handling model in F1 2015, that these cars have a lot of torque, which is quite fun. Entering turn 3 here, braking rather a little bit of a lockup, but quite quickly through there as to be said, opening up the second sector here. Raikkonen pulling away slightly. Let's see what we can do through this middle sector, obviously. Staying with him for the moment, but it's all about nailing that strategy call. As we skip to lap 4, when are you going to pit for those inters? As you see there, I'm having to use the track a little bit more. I was still flat out, but I almost extended the track, so the grip is indeed becoming nice. As you see Raikkonen sliding a little bit there on the exit of the corner, he actually threw up a puddle of water, so it's definitely going to rain a little bit harder, and obviously I noticed that as well as a driver, as the DRS obviously has been enabled, which we have on Raikkonen, but Raikkonen on his turn has it again on Hamilton, so it neutralizes the effect I'm going to have with the DRS here yet again as well. Let's stop the final corner quite a bit, and so compromise my exit speed. Which means Raikkonen pulls away a little bit here again, and we brake for turn 1, being quite hard on the brakes every time, but I'm able to slow it still down so far as we go all over the curb there. Worked out pretty nicely though as Raikkonen once again fills up a puddle of water. It seems like Raikkonen is losing connection with, who's in front of him, Rosberg or Hamilton? I think it was Hamilton, yes it is Hamilton. So that's obviously good for us. Raikkonen falling a little bit in our clutches here at the moment. Coming pretty close to him, you can visually see he's losing time to Hamilton, so Raikkonen's struggling at the moment. And look at the speed I'm able to take through there. Having a look on the inside here, but no, I'm too far back to do that. Can't go for a dive from over there, but look how slow he is there. Usually where I would have gone on the throttle, oh, big oversteer moment there. Where I would have gone on the throttle, he was just there, being idle, not on the throttle at all. Raikkonen just doesn't have the grip at all anymore. I was actually very close to touching him there. As you can see here, if he doesn't get DRS on Hamilton, it would be, good for us. in order to make a pass. Obviously, going up to rich mixture here, I can obviously smell a pass. Raikkonen having a big lift through there was definitely quicker. Let's go a bit deep into here, but that allows me to come right to the apex there, straighten up my car a little bit more or earlier than he could do at the exit of the turn. Even though I had a bit of oversteer, I have DRS obviously over here, and I make the move stick as we enter lap 5. And am I able to make it stick here? Yes, I am, although having said that, with a bit of understeer, as Raikkonen once again we have DRS on us, so I go up to rich mixture, make sure that I defend there a little bit to the left hand side so he doesn't get in my slipstream. He will now get in my slipstream while we open up lap 6, but up into the podium positions at the moment, P3 not bad, and the pace is definitely not bad at all. As you can see here, losing the grip, a bit of sliding through there. You can definitely see it here. As soon, you know, I take a much wider line there. That is definitely an indication that tire wear comes into play, but obviously also just the general grip levels on the track at the moment, obviously with the rain. Go, the engineer saying it. Tire wear coming into play right now. We skip to lap 7, and the pace indeed has been rather good, especially compared to the Ferraris. The Ferraris are dropping off really badly in these conditions. We are definitely having good pace. Rosberg is having good pace as well. Hamilton dropped off a little bit, so we are right on the back of Hamilton here at the moment, picking up DRS. Yes, DRS is still enabled. I doubt it will be for much longer though, as the rain is obviously, as I said before, it's going to rain harder and harder, lap after lap. So really close to Hamilton there, who's actually going into the pit lane. And Rosberg pits as well, so the 2 leaders into the pit lane. Will be interesting to see how Mercedes fixes this issue with 2 drivers coming into the pit lane at the same time. But hey, we don't care. We open up lap 8. And what are these guys going to do then? Are they going for intermediates? You would say so. You would think so. And I think they made the right call by going to inters. As they go really deep into the first corner, you can now see struggling for grip as the rain comes down harder and harder. That's what I mean. Bit of oversteer there on the exit. Seems like most drivers went in. Definitely the Ferraris went in. So Rosberg is again in front of Hamilton. No position changes there, as we are yet to stop. Even second gear through that corner. Seems like they made the right decision, but at the same time those intermediate tires need time to come up to temperature, and so they won't have optimal grip for the first couple of corners. But still, I would be amazed if we come out ahead of Hamilton at the end of the pit stop, but we'll see. Look at this, lots of understeer here. 21.6 seconds to Rosberg. 20 more laps to go. Mr. Rain is coming into play right now, obviously, as well. Definitely going for the intermediate tires. The engineer hasn't even mentioned heavy rain. He only mentioned light rain, and look at the clouds, you know. Nowhere near heavy rain or full wet tires at the moment. Right, coming through here. Big lift over there, and yet not making the corner. Going off here as well. Going well wide and exceeding the track limits. Definitely costing me some time there, and lost half a second to Rosberg over the course of the middle sector, so that intermediate tire is definitely the best choice. I just made the wrong choice by staying out, but I don't think it will cost us that much time. I don't think it will be too much time for us. Going into the pit lane over here, and just floor it as the computer or the AI takes control over of the car right now. Takes over control of the car, I should say. We go to the pit box. From the dry tire, the option tire, to the intermediate tire. Rosberg flies by right now, but is waiting for Hamilton. Where is Hamilton? Well, Hamilton is nowhere to be seen at the moment, and so we do rejoin in P2. That's a little bit of a surprise. I did not expect that at all. And look at the grip now on these cold intermediate tires. It's quite insane how much of a difference it is being on warmed up tires and then coming to cold tires. But interesting that we came out ahead of Hamilton. Maybe the pit stop helped us, because Hamilton maybe got held up by Rosberg, who was in the pit lane as well. I don't know. What I do know is that we have a 6.7 gap to Rosberg, so let's see whether we can close that down in these rain conditions. We were quite okay-ish in Australia when it started to rain, so you know, why not? Let's try to do the best we can, as Raikkonen is definitely closer to Hamilton than before, so that indicates indeed that something has happened to Hamilton. Whether it was in the pit stops or on the track, I have no idea, of course. Depending from Hamilton over there. Bit of a lock up on the front left tire. managing to slow it all down. Look at the oversteer at the moment. Definitely rainy conditions. 8.8 to Rosberg. My tires still need to get up to temperature. You can see that I'm pretty cautious there. I just don't know what to expect when turning into a corner, but I do presume that the tires, as I make another track extension, I do presume that the tires are relatively well up to temperature at the moment. You can indeed see that we are pulling away from Hamilton a little bit again. We skip to the end of lap 10, where Hamilton is quite close behind us, so Hamilton definitely able to stick with us at the moment. He's going way too deep into this corner. Look at Hamilton just flying by that final corner, as DRS is still open for him, so DRS not disabled yet despite the rainy conditions. Going on the inside here, watch Raikkonen as well in our slipstream, 3 wide coming into the first corner. Who's going to brake latest? Hamilton brakes latest, but I have the inside line as Raikkonen backed off, but Hamilton will stick it around the outside and will have the inside line for the next corner. I go for the cutback, for the cutback, and able to make the pass again. No, well, that spoke too soon, because Hamilton again flies by with that Mercedes power, and now trying to pick up a little bit of slipstream as we enter the third corner, going to do around the outside. And it seems like I'm able to do it. It's actually not the third corner, it's like turn 4 or 5, I think 5 actually. Apologies about that. But able to make the repass on Hamilton there. Going for the cutback on turn 2, straightening up the car a little bit earlier than him. Despite that, he had still a really good exit out of the corner. He was actually ahead of me entering turn 4 or 5. I'll call it turn 5, which I think it is. But definitely struggling in this final corner. And the AI is just much better at, first of all, having the grip through the corner, but also putting the power down on the exit. As you can see here, once again, Hamilton is going to fly by as the gap to Rosberg is 12.4 seconds, but I'm not going to give up that easily. Side by side coming into turn 1. And it seems like I've got Hamilton fended off. Yes, I do. Look at Raikkonen though. Ooh, Raikkonen and Hamilton battling quite hard there. Hamilton keeping that place though. Lap 14, halfway through the race. Quite interesting race so far. It all starts to heat up a little bit. Skipping to lap 15 over here. Now the engineer says again, rain is going to ease off. And indeed, when you look at the clouds are coming a little bit brighter, you know, a little bit bluish over there. That's the part where it's raining. That part of the track which we are facing right now. You can see the dark clouds, but as soon as we turn here again, look on the left hand side, it's just nice and blue skies over there. Yes, there are a few clouds here and there, but definitely not the grey and dark clouds we have on this part of the track here on the left hand side. So we should be facing dry conditions yet again, which will be interesting because it will be for the final couple of laps, and so we might have a replay of Australia here where I'm going to stay on the intermediate tires. Maybe the AI is going to pit. We are yet to see. Well, the AI is pitting in this lap. Both Raikkonen and Hamilton went into the pit lane, so pit stop for the AI cars. It's probably not because of the weather change or something like that, because it's still raining relatively hard. I do expect them to go on a new set of intermediate tires, but maybe they will prove me wrong. As you can see, coming from those tires, when you look closely, you can see just, you know, puddles of water or just, you know, just spray coming from the tires. So my opinion, it's not ready yet for slicks, but hey, I followed it in Australia too. Well, it was pretty damn ready for slicks. You can see me here as well, starting to struggle a little bit more. Obviously, tire wear coming into play. A bit more understeer. Look at that, just picking up so much understeer in the little Sauber for me. This double apex, let's have a look. Hitting that first apex nicely, coming back to the second apex as well. That's the way you want to take it. I'm feeling rather confident in this car at the moment, actually. Looking at the race director, well, prime tire for Hamilton and Raikkonen. I did not expect that at all. I was like, let's make sure that I track the race director, because the engineer obviously doesn't say anything useful as usual really with this game. I checked the race director and see that they are on the prime tire, so slicks. That was another surprise for me to see. And I stayed out a little bit longer, lap 16, and we are coming into the pit this time, and we are going to go with prime tire or the option. I think we go with the prime tire. Here we go. Entering the pit lane. Plenty of fuel left for this race as well, so we can still use rich mixture here and there. Coming into the pit lane, and it is indeed the prime tire for us as well. But where is Hamilton? That is the question. Something going to come out in front of us. He's on the minimap over there. No, I keep the position, so that's good. With the previous F1 titles, the undercut usually was, had a really big effect. But with this game, I feel like it isn't a big effect anymore. In my opinion, the undercut sometimes won't even work at all. I would rather stay out for another lap, to be honest, on worn tires, but which are up the temperature, rather than going a lap earlier than the AI and being on cold tires, because it really is a major difference. And the first 6 turns or something is hell. It is horrible. You can see it here, just a lot of once here, and that is the point there where it starts to grip up. You suddenly saw there that I was just surprised by the amount of turning there suddenly was. When there is grip, then suddenly, there is grip, and that point is something you can really feel as a driver. Just from no grip at all to bam, having grip. That sometimes can catch you out, and it surprises you. Anyway, having that grip now though, that's a good sign. But Rosberg seems to be out of our hands at the moment. Let's have a look at the gap. Obviously, we can only look at that when we go down the main straight again. But the gap is definitely above 10 seconds, I would say. And Hamilton behind us as well, don't forget him. He may still be a threat towards us, coming to the end of the race here. It seems like the AI have a bit better pace, perhaps, in the dry conditions. So it's not great for me that it dried up again, but I'm not going to complain. I'm gonna have to defend it with everything I've got and just have some good fun. It's indeed just over 10 seconds. 10.5 seconds is the gap to Rosberg, which is not as bad as I expected it, to be honest. It would be something like 15 seconds perhaps. A bit deeper to turn 1 here. Hamilton definitely having the better line through me there, but I presume Hamilton also having the better grip available in that Mercedes. 10.6 seconds to Rosberg. Lost a 10th in that first sector. Have a very dirty cut there. Apologies about that. You can gain so much time really by cutting those kind of corners. It's insane. Just a few tenths, but a few tenths are quite a lot. Missing the second apex there a little bit. 10 laps to go on these tires. That shouldn't be too much of an issue. The AI, their tire is obviously older as well, so we should in fact have the tire advantage. So we are very quick through the middle sector, throughout the whole race pretty much. I was quicker than the AI throughout the middle sector. And it's especially because of the quick left-right hander, the left-hander and then right-hander at high speed, approaching it with 6th gear. That's where I really gain time on the AI, and visually when I'm behind an AI car I can just see myself gaining time. Also a bit of time through the double right-hander, so that middle sector is our strongest sector. The final sector is our worst sector, and it's all because of the final corner, I think. I just cannot get it right. I don't think I have the grip, and the AI is definitely having the grip there, which Hamilton definitely is having as well, because he had a better exit, better grip through the final sector. I'm gonna have to try to get him back on the inside here. Gonna have to brake late, excuse me. There's a back marker in the way as well. Going quite deep into the corner. But Hamilton can't get us, sorry. A little bit of a weird throat. Hamilton definitely opening up the attack on us now. Here we go. Passing Roberto Merhi. I think Merhi. I think his name is Roberto. I'm not sure, but I think it is. Skipping to lap 21. You can see here it pretty much dried up. No more rain drops or anything like that. And it's all on the advantage of Hamilton, I would say. Who's right now a bit closer. Not a back marker in front though. It's quite light over here. Can I make the corner? Yes, I can. It's actually pretty beautiful. Hamilton obviously having the DRS going up the ridge mixture. I need to defend from Hamilton, who will go down the inside for this final corner, I believe. Yes, he does indeed. And if he passes me before this final corner, which he does, I will have the DRS on him again. So let's go for a better exit if I can, even though the Mercedes, look at that, having such a great exit, and he just flies away. Now he has the advantage as well from the back marker, picking up the slipstream. I'm gonna have to go for some kind of dive bomb. I do not want to lose this place, and so we go into turn 1, try to go for the dive bomb, which I do indeed, and contact is made. I do make the corner though, but that was a rather aggressive move, and I wasn't really sure whether that was clean enough. So I'm gonna have a look at that in the replay, and here we go. I was just not sure whether it was clean enough, because of course it is a dive bomb. But Hamilton in the first instance avoided me right there. that's where he avoided me, and then just then turned in back into me again. But obviously I have no complaints about it, because I was just the one being going for the dive bomb over there. So I think I should take responsibility in that case. But at the same time, I could make the corner. Hamilton left the door open. I think I could. Yeah, it's too aggressive though. At the same time, yeah, you can talk a lot about it. It's too aggressive. Hamilton avoided me, but then still turned into the corner and made contact with me. But I think that move was too dirty. So what I'm going to do is let Hamilton back past again. See if he passes the back marker down straight here, which he doesn't yet. But I do want to pass Hamilton without letting the back marker through again. But it seems like there's no other option for me. So I let Hamilton through with the back marker. There goes Hamilton. And at the same time the back marker actually went out of the way. So I have to slap on the brakes there, otherwise I would have ended up in the back of Hamilton. But letting Hamilton through there, I think is the right thing to do. Of course we want some clean racing as well. But now it's really important for me to stay in touch with Hamilton, because if he flies off right now, it's gone. That second place will be over pretty much. So I need to stick with him. But this corner, I am so bad at that corner for one reason. And look at the the Hamilton just pulling away a couple of tenths in one corner alone. That is a lot. Going up to Rich Mixture there, braking late, but in fact making a mistake, costing me only more time, and that is exactly what I did not have to do. I will have the DRS again, but Hamilton just pulling away with that Mercedes power and Mercedes grip levels and whatever. He's having so much more grip than me, so much more pace. Let's have a look whether I can pick up the DRS yet again. It will help me defend from Raikkonen. I do have DRS, but obviously I'm not going to be able to make another move on Hamilton, which is a big shame. With 5 laps to go, we lose that second place. But the focus is now on this final podium paying spot. But hey, I suddenly saw a Toro Rosso exiting the pit lane. And this was my hope. Right now I knew if I want to get that second place, it needs to be now. Because Hamilton may get held up by that Toro Rosso. You can see me here going up to Rich Mixture. If Hamilton is going to get held up by that Toro Rosso, I need to do everything I can to have DRS on him and stay close to him. And as you can see here visually, the gap is again decreasing slightly. And now he will fall into the clutches of that Toro Rosso. And now is the time we need to push really hard and close up that gap. And try to do something then with DRS. That's our only hope of getting that P2 back. And indeed, Hamilton is being held up by Verstappen. But Verstappen went obviously on the new set of tires as he exited the pit lane. So you will have cold tires over here. That's what I was looking for. Cold tires over here. But they are going to warm up. And in that case, he's going to have the grip again. Presumably he's on options as well. So he will be flying. And indeed, over here you can visually see again that he's pulling away. Both Verstappen and Hamilton are pulling away, in fact. I will have DRS again, but Hamilton will have it again as well. And that is not good for us. Here we go, activating DRS. Pay attention to Raikkonen as well. He will obviously be battling us for his final podium paying spot. So Hamilton is close behind Verstappen, but can't do anything at the moment. We will pick up DRS yet again, I presume. Yep. Look at Raikkonen though. Quite close behind us. Oh, he's close behind us, and I thought as I went to standard mixture, which was probably a mistake. And Raikkonen flying by. I'm gonna try to get him back, but I messed up completely. A complete potato move by me. Collision with Raikkonen, and that is my own stupid mistake. That was some of the worst driving I must have seen from myself ever. That was the most retarded thing and the most stupid thing ever. If you skip to lap 26, I've been pushing really hard trying to keep up with Raikkonen. But that gap seems to be staying about 1 second or so. Yeah, I shouldn't have gone, to the inside there. I wanted to get him back, but no way I should have done that while approaching the braking zone, or maybe we were even in the braking zone. You are not going to move over in the braking zone. As I said, it's a complete potato move by me, and very stupid. I was really stupid over there. Shouldn't have done that at all, and I got lucky that I got away with that without any damage. And I have been punished, of course, because I've been dropped down to P4, and that is the right thing, because Raikkonen deserved that position after such a stupid move from me. But I'm not going to give up yet, as we open up lap 26, and Raikkonen's pace is suddenly dropping. You can see him there sliding around a little bit. Obviously, these AI cars, they pitted earlier than me, so they will feel the tire wear more than me as well. I'm just pushing so hard at this stage, trying to get Raikkonen back because, well, dear oh dear, when I get that third place back. Go, hitting the apex nicely there. Get on the power. Again, Raikkonen makes up a few tenths over the space of 2 corners pretty much. Slowing the car down yet again. Third gear, bit too far off the apex, way too far off the apex in fact. But I do pick up the DRS, and that is something great for us. Lap 26, 3 more laps to go. Second place, well, out of reach. Third place, definitely within reach. We have DRS on Raikkonen, definitely having the better pace as well, which is weird. Because Raikkonen had definitely the pace on us. Let's go a bit too wide there. And that cost me a bit more time. Is it going to cost the final podium paying spot? Who knows? Might be the case. Another stupid mistake from me though. Braking super late for you now. Holy damn. Able to slow it down though. In fact, gaining a bit of time on Raikkonen. Let's skip to the end of lap 27. Just over a lap to go, and I have the DRS yet again on Kimi Raikkonen. As I said, I wanna get that pace, closing him down, having a look on the inside there. Not gonna go for it, way too far back. Not gonna make another stupid move. But look at this. Look at that, definitely better through that corner, having DRS here again. This is still where Raikkonen pulls away. But now is the point where I pick up the advantage with DRS and with the slipstream as well. Final lap of the race, and we go for the inside of Kimi Raikkonen. Can we do it though? On the inside here, very close to touching each other there. Great driving from Raikkonen. I'm gonna try to do the same thing which he did to Hamilton, which is the cutback for here, straightening up the car earlier than he did. Final lap of the race, and this is the battle there for the third place and the final podium paying spot, just like Hamilton did. Raikkonen comes back alongside us and is on the inside for turn 5. But we are going to try it again on the outside here. Raikkonen as it squeezes me there as well. Great driving from Raikkonen. Absolutely great driving from the AI there. That is really good. Great to see. Squeezing me off there, I'm absolutely fine with that. There was plenty of space to do that. But watch this though. Oh, Raikkonen being really slow through there. Even tapping his back, unfortunately. But there's one more DRS soon to go pretty much. Obviously it's quite a short run to the line after the final corner, so I need to make sure that I stick with him right now here in his final lap of the race, final sector of the race right now even. And look at that, just pushing absolutely to the max. I'm closer, definitely closer than I was before. Up towards mixture, I knew this was my final chance. And look how much I close up through that corner. That puts me in a great position to overtake him over here. Going very deep into that corner, but able to make the apex, and surely we are going to do it here. Nico Rosberg takes home the victory though, as we are going for the inside, probably for the final corner on Kimi Raikkonen, and we indeed go for the inside. Is Raikkonen going to able to stick around the outside? No, he isn't, and look who dives into the pit lane. Hamilton dives into the pit lane on the final lap of the game as we pass Raikkonen, and we will take home that second place then, which is a big surprise, because, well, I did not expect Hamilton to be pitting at all in a final lap of the race, and that is definitely some kind of bug or glitch. I didn't realize it at this point until I saw this podium ceremony over here, and I was in the second place, and I was like, what happened? Did Raikkonen get a penalty? Or sorry, did Hamilton get a penalty or something? But he just pitted on the final lap of the race. Definitely some kind of bug, but I'm gonna take it. And what an ending to this race. Wow. A race with ups and downs, that's for sure. I made a stupid move, but hey, it was a really good race, and eventually getting second there, overtaking Raikkonen in the final corner, and Hamilton going to the pit lane.
Top today, with Nico Rosberg bringing home the car in first place to add another 25 points to his championship total.
It really was a great performance, and one that I think will be remembered for a long time to come.
There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
So Rosberg dominating that race with 21 seconds over me. I think that's pretty much it though for this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, I would appreciate a like. And see you next time for round 3 in China for the Chinese Grand Prix. Goodbye.